Yeah.
Hey guys, Nathaniel here again. First off, I want to thank Adrian Colvin for making that intro for me. I really appreciate it, man. So before I get into it, I gotta tell you, I've seen all the X-Men movies, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll see Dark Phoenix. And that's what I did, and it sucked. I really... See, that's why I'm wearing my Deadpool shirt, because clearly Deadpool is the best X-Men. But anyway, so yeah, I think where do I even begin with this one? So let me talk about the recent string of comic book movies and how a few of those films definitively had finality to them. Two prime examples being Avengers Endgame that just came out with one of the best endings I've ever seen, and Logan, which should have been the end of the X-Men franchise, but for some reason they kept going. Like, I get going with Deadpool, right? Like, Deadpool 2, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that was good. But even though I liked Apocalypse, I was kind of like, why are they still pushing these characters forward? Like, I really don't understand what more they had to tell. And Dark Phoenix really proved to me that there literally was nothing they had to tell. Quite frankly, I don't know why this movie exists, based on the fact that, like, oh, I guess Apocalypse made some money, I guess we'll make another one. But no one even cared. Like, literally almost every single person in this movie was phoning it in, except save it be Sophie Turner and slightly Michael Fassbender. And quite frankly, I can't really blame them. Because who cared? Nobody wanted another one of these movies. Well, maybe not this iteration of it. But, like, where do I even begin? Nicholas Hoult, he was not good. James McAvoy was incredibly dull compared to all the other roles. I mean, even in Glass, like, I did not think Glass was a good movie, but James McAvoy gave his all, and that's still, like, one of the better performances I've seen this year. And then there's Jennifer Lawrence. Oh my goodness. I don't know what the hell she was doing in this movie. Literally every line was like, oh yeah, well, you should be doing this. Yeah, I'm dull, yeah. And then there was some line about ex-woman that was just complete. I can't even begin to describe how bad this script is. Literally, every single line of dialogue I was just listening to, and I could hear it in my head. I was literally saying to myself the words that they would say on the screen. And sure enough, right then they did. It was so hard to swallow. I couldn't believe it because, you know, First Class is a great movie. Days of Future Past, even though it screwed up the entire timeline. You know, it's like this team, because I think Simon Kinberg has done a few, like, he did Days of Future Past, yeah. So, you know, you figure, okay, well, maybe he can write a little bit. No. And plus, this screenplay has absolutely no structure. Now, maybe that's because there was some studio interference, or maybe something was cut off in the editing room, because that's another thing. The editing in this movie was so confusing. Like, Sophie Turner is Jean Grey. She's at one spot in the movie, and then she, like, a few minutes later, she's in, like, this completely different location. It's like, how do we get here? What was the build up to this? And it just felt incredibly choppy. And also, the character work, it just didn't feel right at all. Like, Charles was just an asshole to be the sake of an asshole. And really, it felt completely out of character for him. Like, they didn't develop that well at all. And sure, they have, like, he has an arc or whatever. But really, why? Why was it like that in the first place? I get you're trying to take your characters in interesting directions. But you shouldn't if you don't set it up that well. And that's what this movie didn't do. I really didn't feel like the conflict was anything that interesting. They didn't... it didn't start out gradual, or it didn't start out like there were small happenstance things happening and then it just kind of blew up. It was big from the beginning, and there really wasn't a lot of conflict, I felt. I mean, there was conflict between the team, but even that plot line I didn't care about. Like, and I think a lot of it also has to do with Simon Kinberg's directing, because you look at some of these, and I lost track after, like, I didn't care to look, but you look at some of these shots, and it's just literally over the shoulder, over the shoulder, over the shoulder, but the camera isn't moving at all, and so you're just watching it, and you're kind of bored at it, and I really don't know what is going on. Now, I do respect Simon Kinberg a great deal because he came out and said, the movie's failing because the audience didn't connect with it, and that's on me. And anytime a director stands up for his own movie and takes responsibility for the fact that it's not doing well or it didn't connect with the audience, I really respect the filmmaker for that. So props to you, Simon Kinberg, but, maybe you'll direct something in the future. I really don't know what or why, because I mean, really, you've only been assigned to these X-Men movies, right? You haven't really done anything else besides that. Well, anyway, people have done Stranger Things, so really, I don't even know. Like, there's fights that happen in this movie that are they just seem kind of contrived. Like, that's another thing with the character development. It's all very contrived, especially with Magneto. That was kind of out of left field. There's just so many things in this movie. Oh, yeah, Jessica Chastain is the villain. No, she was just so typical and bland. It was just one of those other villains that's like, oh, I want all the power. I want to rule the world, with no compelling motivation at all. It's really, really messy. I don't understand why they thought, especially after all these years and all the great X-Men movies we've gotten, that this was the story that they would go with and the script that they would have the actors read off of and film. So yeah, this movie kind of sucks. I'm going to give it 4 out of 10 stars. Please don't see this one unless, you've seen all the other X-Men movies and you really don't care. Yeah, I just wanted to get this movie review done before I see Toy Story 4 because, that's the one I really care about. So that should probably be the next video. Maybe I'll be able to throw something in before then. Not sure, but stay on the lookout. And of course, be sure to like that or smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I will be coming at you with more movie reviews in the near future. Thanks a lot, guys.